Hello world, it's me once again, John Hampton, the man from Oz, the land down under, Australia. It's 11:26 p.m. It's quite a pleasant night, and I have some good news in that my IT professional was able to sort out the audio problems. I just hope it's permanent. Yes. Excuse me. I'm just going to have a sip of tea. And it's nearly empty. Daniel Smalltoe, hello to you too, my young friend. How are you? I just thought I'd just do a bit of a broadcast before I called it a night. Who knows what time that might be. I'm a bit of a night owl. I'm fine, yes, thank you. I'm a night person, so I always feel better at night than I do early in the morning and through the day. I tend to feel somewhat not human when I first wake up, and I just get better as the day progresses. And as the night comes, I start to feel more human, whatever that is. A new person is watching. It's night time, Daniel. It's 11:30 at night almost, so I'll be planning on going to bed at some time or other. And tomorrow, I don't know, tomorrow's not here yet. I just play it one day at a time. Haven't got any real plans. I might get around to starting a metal sculpture that I've been planning for some time. It's a half-size T-Rex skull. I think maybe I might have taken a mouthful of too much than I can chew, but it's a plan. And I've got YouTube videos to do, and I always find something to do. Daniel, and what are you up to? I don't know what time it is your way. You're in Mexico, yes? Well, as I was saying, I asked you, Daniel Smalltoe, you live in Mexico, is that correct? No. Oh, I must have the wrong individual. Where do you live, Daniel? Oh, Milan, that's right, Milan. I'm a dummy. Yes, I remember now. Yes. What time is it in Milan? Milan. Oh, nearly 1:30 in the afternoon. Ooh, so you're 10 hours behind us. All these time differences around the world, it's hard to come to terms with. Yes. See, like America, we have a 3-hour time difference from the west coast to the east coast. Perth, which is the capital of Western Australia, is on the west coast on the Indian Ocean, and here on the east coast, where I live, we're on the Pacific Ocean, or the Tasman Sea, as they refer to it. It's a bit confusing, because the further north you go, you get into the Coral Sea. Yeah, it's very confusing. But Australia is a very big country. It's almost 3 million square miles, which is nearly 5 million square kilometres. You guess me later? Okay, yeah, I'll guess you later. You just click that little camera there, and when it goes green, sure, not a problem. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I just play it as it goes. Play it by ear, all ad hoc. I really never know what I'm going to talk about until I actually am live. But some good news. I did mention this when I first came on air, that my IT professional finally found out what was wrong with the audio, and I hope it stays that way. Yes, it had something to do with the inbuilt microphone of my laptop interfering with the microphone in the external Logitech C920 camera. So he thinks he fixed it. And I did a broadcast earlier, I went for over an hour, and it was good. And I spoke to a very delightful young lady over in California, and I spoke to her several times. She asked to be a guest, and she came on, and she was a very pleasant young lady, and it was good to talk to her. Yes, I have a Logitech camera. I've got two now. I've got two. The Logitech C920 is what I'm using now, and I've got a second one because I thought the first camera had, because of the sound problems, I thought the first camera microphone, yeah, it is good. Yeah, they are good cameras. My lighting could probably be a little bit better. All I've got is a light above my head, a fluoro light. But I think the pictures are, I mean, the picture quality is usually terrific. Yeah, they're great cameras. I also bought some extra hardware today, a couple of USB extension leads, and a triple port so I can plug in both cameras if I need to be. I might go on air through the day and I can run the camera outside, and maybe someone might be interested to have a look at our backyard and our lovely garden. Who knows? Or I might do some sort of demonstration. Get out the plasma cutter and show you it work, and who knows? Who knows what I might do? Yeah. Yeah, so it's good that, well, yeah, it's only 6 minutes into the broadcast. So it's good that the audio has been fixed up. Yeah, and it was worth the money to get the fellow out, because I wouldn't have known what to do. It would have driven me nuts. Right. Daniel, yes, that's right. You subscribed, didn't you? You subscribed to my YouTube channel. And I subscribed to yours as a way of saying thank you. Philosophy, are you? Wow. That is a deep subject. Good luck with it, Daniel. You too, my young friend. Yes? You study and get stuck in your philosophy. I wish you all the best with it. And we will talk again some other time. And maybe you can go live, be a guest. It's philosophy, eh? That's quite a subject to get involved with. My mind boggles. Yes, bye, Daniel. Have a good afternoon, and I hope you have got a good night as well. See you later. Yes, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. I'm just filling in a bit of time because it's too early for me to go to bed. You're welcome, Daniel. Most welcome. And yes, as I said, I talked to a young lady in California, and she asked to be a guest, and of course I'm happy to have anyone as a guest. I like to talk to people live. And I asked her if she was on Skype, and she said she was. And I gave out my Skype address if anyone wanted to add it as a contact, because I like talking on Skype because it's one-to-one, and you usually don't get the breakdown that you do when you have a guest, and it is all too common. Yes. So I hope she adds me to request a contact, because I'd really like to talk to her again one-to-one on Skype. She was a very down-to-earth young lady. Very down-to-earth, which was most refreshing. Yes, she knew exactly what she was doing and where she was going. She plans to study psychology and specialise in the youth, aged around 11 to 14, I think she said. She's probably getting ready for school right now, I would imagine. And I suppose a lot of young people would be getting ready for school. I don't know. I know you have summer holidays, In America, I don't know how long, if it goes for the whole season, which is 3 months. Here in Australia, the kids have a 6-7 week break over the Christmas period. And most of them have gone back to school this past Monday. And then they have 3 other holiday breaks through the year. I suppose totally different to what it is in America. I'm number 2 on talk. I better keep talking so I get back up to number 1. Yes. Well, what can I talk about? Good question. And I'm out of tea. That's it. Ah, good grief. Excuse me. It's very hard to talk for a considerable amount of time. I'm not what you'd say an individual with the gift of the gab, as the saying goes. But I do my best. I'm just trying to think what I can talk about. At the moment, I don't know, you probably can't hear it. But we have a fish pond in the backyard, my wife and I. And there's a little popping frog there. Pop, pop, pop. And it drives me nuts. Sometimes it really drives me nuts. That's why when I go camping out in the bush, I don't camp near dams and real close to rivers and that, because there's always frogs around, and they can be quite aggravating. Like my book. There's my book. Aggravation. My first self-published novel. Pretty cool, huh? Yes, it's 512 pages. Just over 133,000 words. Too bad I haven't sold any copies. But that's the trouble with being a self-published author. It's the writing is the easy part. It's the marketing that's the very hard part. Now, there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of self-published authors out there, and very few of them become successful. It's very hard to get the word out there, and I've tried. I've really tried. I've spent thousands of dollars advertising, some on Facebook, others AdSense, and so on and so forth. But it's virtually impossible to get the word out there. I know people do read, but obviously they don't want to read my book, which is a shame, because I think I'm a pretty good storyteller. And I've said this before too, that I do have a website, johnsbooksasp.com.au, and you can get on there and you can buy 3 of my novels for 99 cents each. A new person is watching. Hello to the new person. Yes, you get it on my website, johnsbooksasp.com.au, and you can have a look at what the blurbs about the 3 books. 99 cents each, uploaded to your email address. And when I first decided to do that, my son uploaded one of the books, and it worked out a treat. So if you've got an iPad or an iPhone, whatever, and got your email address on there, bang, you can get my book. 99 cents. Cheap as chips. I've got to keep plugging away, because eventually I'd like to sell some of these books. I'd like to get people's opinion. Not just something dropping on the roof. That's the trouble with a tin, with a sheet metal roof. Everything is loud because the shed's metal, and everything resonates. And especially the heavy rain. The rain's been so hard on the roof of late that it's almost deafening. And I wear hearing aids, so I can turn them down. But even then, it can still be deafening. We for the first time ever today, we got a spam phone call. Someone saying they were from the Australian Taxation Office and that we had not paid our taxes, and they gave a number and expected us to be silly enough to call the number and give out the information they wanted. But unfortunately, there would be people who would be gullible enough to fall for it. There's scams going on everywhere. There was one not too long ago about Microsoft. Receiving a call from Microsoft. Microsoft do not call people. They do not. But there's people fall for these scams. And unfortunately, a lot of these scammers get lots of money out of people. People who can usually less afford to lose it. But people fall for it. And there's so many warnings out from authorities about, not to fall for these people, but people do. Tragedy. True. Yeah. And actually, my wife phoned the police. She reported it. Of course, there's nothing the police can do, but she just reported it. And the man from Oz is now featured in Talk. That's what it said just up the top here. Oh, I could show you. I showed these before. These are what I bought from JB Hi-Fi, and because I've got the two Logitech cameras, I bought a new 4-port USB hub, so I can plug that in, and I can have two cameras at the same time, or I can, if I want to. And I bought a couple of these USB extension leads, and they're 1.8 meters in length, so I could join them together at 3.6 meters, and the cable on the Logitech camera is, well, I think it must be close to 2 meters. I don't know how that would affect the picture and the sound quality. I might not get any sound at all. Biz is watching. Hello, Biz. Where are you watching from, Biz? And Lean and Dab is watching. Hello, Lean and Dab. So anyhow, something else I can play around with. I bought an 800mm focal length telescope a little while back, just before Christmas, because I've always been keen on watching the night sky. And I ordered an adapter for my Canon camera, my Canon EOS 1200D camera. But it's been nearly a month and I'm still waiting for it. And I'm keen to get out there, especially at night, and take some video and some photographs. Who knows what I might see? I might even see a UFO. Wouldn't that be great? Because I'm very much into Fabian David 955 is watching. Hello, Fabian. Yes, I'm very interested in the UFO phenomenon. Have been since I had my first sighting. It was back in 1967. Good grief, 67. I was 19. Yeah, I was born in 1948, the same year that the State of Israel was established. Did you know that they originally asked Albert Einstein to be president of Israel, and he declined? Just a bit of trivia there, a bit of historical trivia. My mind's full of it. Yes. Yes, I've had a few sightings in my time. They're just unidentified flying objects, no flying saucers, no, nothing like that. Nothing like you see on YouTube. And most of that's fake. But some of it's good fake. And I'll even comment and say, well, it's a good hoax, but it's a hoax, but it's a good hoax. You must have put a lot of work into it. But I don't see the point in hoaxing anything like that. What's the point? There's so many out there, you're not going to get a heap of views. And you're making it harder and harder for some who do actually have genuine sightings. But for people to believe that they are real. But they're out there, absolutely. Like ships in the night they pass. And through the daytime as well. Yes. When I go away camping, I go every winter time. I go for 3 months. I think my wife likes to get rid of me. Because we've been married nearly for 42 years. And I think she looks forward to the winter coming. And I pack up my 4-wheel drive and the trailer, and off I go for 3 months. And I spend 7 or 8 weeks on my cousin's property, camp on the mountain on his place. It's glorious. Keaton C is watching. Hello, Keaton C. And I love being alone in the bush. Absolutely love it. I love the isolation, the peace and quiet. And a campfire. It's really cold because it's the winter time, and there's nothing like sitting in a campfire at night, or even through the day. And I just love it. And when I finish at my cousin's property, I'll go and do some fishing. Just drive off somewhere where there's a river, and drive down one of the tracks there and find a place and do some fishing. My ambition is to catch a big Murray cod. That is the be-all to end-all of native fish here in Australia. Some can grow to 200 pounds in weight. It's a big fish. But I would like to land a decent-sized cod. I'd photograph it, and then I'd put it back in the water, because I don't want to eat it. No. Because it's the big fish that are the main breeding stock. But unfortunately, since around 1860, when carp were brought to Australia. Can you believe that they actually brought European carp to Australia and they put them in the irrigation canals? No one gave a thought that when the floods came, that the carp would be washed into the rivers, which is exactly what happened. And now they're everywhere. They are in every river in Australia, European carp. They're good fun on life here, but they're not a very good eating fish. They're just full of tiny, fine bones, trident shaped bones. You can mince the flesh and soak it in vinegar or lemon juice overnight, and that will calcify the bones and make fish cakes out of them. But really, they're a pest. I catch them, I dig a hole and I bury them, or if there's some feral animals around, feral cats or feral pigs or whatever, I just put them away from camp and they will take care of them. There won't be anything left the next day. Nothing at all, believe you me. But I like that too. I like the isolation of the rivers, because it's not during the holiday seasons. And anyhow, where I go, there's not very many people around anyhow. And the fewer people around, the better I like it. I'm not an unsociable person, but otherwise if I was totally unsociable, I wouldn't be doing these broadcasts. But yeah, I really enjoy that. And the funny thing was, this this young lady I spoke to, Brittany from California, she must be 50 plus years my junior, and she had several interests, the same as I. She loved to read, she loved to write, she loved camping and fishing. Isn't that incredible? It's just, it's really wonderful the people you can meet on YouNow. I used to, about a year ago, broadcast live on Google Hangouts. But it was a bit more difficult to have people as guests. But with YouNow, all someone has to do is click the guest camera, and Bob's your uncle. It's easy, much easier than Google Hangouts. I still use Google Hangouts. I've uploaded a few short videos of late called "Getting Old Is Not What It's Cracked Up to Be," and they're basically comedy videos. And trouble is, they're not getting many views. That's life. My YouTube channel's strictly for fun. YouNow, a new person is watching. Hello, new person. Yes, probably some of you have been watching before, but I'll say this to those that haven't. I've had my YouTube channel now for 34 months, and I've got 93 subscribers and lifetime views of just over 36,000. I'm happy with that. One of my videos has achieved 11,500 views in the past 12 months, and I was very surprised at that because it was a short film. It was called Emphysema Man. The true story. My story. Yeah, I have emphysema. Yeah, I was diagnosed with it 5 years ago, and that was 15 years after I quit smoking. And I'll say this again, there are no guarantees in life but death and taxes. And you must live your life one day at a time. I said that to to Brittany, and yes, she nodded in agreement. Yes, yes. There's only today. Yesterday's but a memory, tomorrow has yet to come. There's only today, so make the most of it while you can. And I know it's hard for all you young people out there to think that you'll never grow old and time can't go by quick enough, but believe you me, it won't be long and you'll be 40 or 50 years of age and you will be sitting back and it will suddenly strike you, where have all the years gone? What have I done? What have I achieved? Some of you will be successful, but most of you, I'm sad to say, will not. You know, some will try ventures that will turn out to be very successful, but most will not. Most will just go and work for someone else for a salary or a wage, and that's life. That's what life is all about. You know, we are born, we are raised, we are schooled, we work, we retire, then die. But there are a lot of in-betweens, of course. A lot of in-betweens. Oh. Well, I'm number 3 on the talk now. Never mind. That doesn't matter. Yes, the in-betweens. Love's lost, love won, failures, success, all sorts of things in life. Missed opportunities. Actually, I'm thinking of making another short film along those lines. I've written the part of the script for it. When I make a short film, I have to write my own script, and I have to rehearse. I rehearse all my videos, and otherwise I forget what I have to say. That's one of the problems of getting old, is that your mind starts to drift north of normal, and mine has drifted, and is continuing to drift. And all different things befall you when you get older too. Yeah, you lose your sight, which is why I wear glasses. I've lost my hearing, which is why I wear hearing aids. It doesn't matter. That's life. I get in bed and get on with it. You know, I could sit around all day and do nothing and blame it on my emphysema, but no, that's no life. No life at all. And I know when you're young, as I said before, things can't happen quick enough. I think a lot of young people are very impatient these days. I think they want everything done yesterday, but you've got to be patient. Yes. Patience is a virtue. Now my mouth's gone dry, and I've hardly got any tea left. Isn't that terrible? Getting very close to midnight here. Another day is nearly upon us. And I sure hope my audio isn't playing up. I'm fairly confident that it's not, but who knows? Technology is wonderful when it works, but it's a real pain in the backside when it doesn't. True. And I'm a complete tyro when it comes to most things IT. I'm learning. It's actually raining. That's good. Good for the garden. My wife will be happy. We've got a very big garden, back and front, and most of it is the work of my wife over the past 20 years or so, and it's really a lovely garden. I'm number 1 on talk here. Number 1. Isn't that amazing? Yes, so that's why I was thinking that if I do a broadcast through the day, I could just run the lead out and just show you the backyard. You know, you might be interested. Oh, it is a lovely garden, you might think. But you can see the garden on some of my YouTube videos, because I do a lot of recording out of doors. Or maybe you're not interested. No, it is a lovely garden. We've actually got 2 stag horns, or elk horns. And one of them is worth about $2,500, we've been told. It's enormous. I mean, it's humongous. We've got it chained to a tree, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. And we've got another one over in the corner of the backyard, and it's not quite as big, but it's not far behind. Massive things. They once belonged to my wife's late father. He was one of these individuals who could grow anything. You know, the so-called green thumb. But yes, and we bought them over here when my wife's mother passed away about a year or so ago. What a job that was, I can tell you. We needed some strong backs. Simp Musical is watching. Hello, Simp Musical. How are you? Is it daytime or nighttime where you are? You know, I'll tell you something that I've got here. I bought one of these things. I bought a quadcopter. And I took it away with me last year when I went camping. I got some aerial footage of where I was camped on the top of the mountain. But I tell you what, they are hard things to fly. Getting used to that control, you know, that radio control thing. And this poor old quadcopter of mine's had a few heavy landings. But yeah, it's the sort of thing you've really got to practice with. Maybe it's because I'm more thumbs and I find it hard to operate. But I do practice with it. I can't practice in the backyard here. When I first got it, I took it out and I did try it in the backyard, and I accidentally pushed the. Yes, I'm in a shed. Simp Musical. Yes, my shed office. It's storage workshop, and I've got a desk here, and I've got my laptop on it. Yes. I took it out in the backyard, and I accidentally pushed the throttle, and it shot straight up. It must have gone up about 300 or 400 meters, and I couldn't see it. And then I panicked, and I pushed the throttle down, and it fell down and hit me in the face. Scared the living daylights out of me, I can tell you. And there's 4 rotors on it, 4 propellers, and 2 of them are still spinning, and they sliced my arm open as well. And they feel like an old fool, I can tell you. But yes, very hard to get used to, but I'm getting there. It's the same with my TIG welding. It's very hard, but I'm getting used to it. Yeah. Give me stick welding any day over the TIG, but the TIG can do things that the stick welding can't. Oh yeah. It's a totally form of welding. And I read that it was, and that is proven to be true. I heard you have to register them. Not here in Australia that I know of. No. There's a lot of laws that you cannot fly them at a certain altitude. This one of mine has a radio control range. AMG 50 is watching. Hello, AMG 50. Oh, in the US, you have to, do you really? I know it's big in the US with these smaller ones, these smaller drones, where they have special areas where these people go out there and they've got these goggles on and they've got the remote. And I've seen them, wow, what control they have over them most of the time. But no, here in Australia, no, we don't have to have a licence for them yet or register them. But who knows how long it'll be before we do. But it is illegal to fly them anywhere near an airport, and I don't live very far from Coffs Harbour Airport. So I'd have to be careful, I suppose. But when I go bush, there's no worries. They've been having too many problems, drones getting close to... Oh, have they really? Well, that's the fault of the operators, isn't it? I mean... Well, it is. It's a fault of the operators. Surely they can see a plane around. Yeah. And of course, something like that's going to balk a pilot. Yeah. Daniel F. is watching. Hello, Daniel F. Yes, but... oh, they're popular. But... I don't know. They bring these things on the market, and before you know it, there's new rules and regulations over them. Just like these hoverboards. You know, there was a lot of them sold here in Australia before Christmas. And some of them caught alight when they were charging the battery. And I think 2 houses burned down because of them. Yeah. I thought it was a moth. Yeah, so... Anyhow, but they're not a true hoverboard, are they? They're not like out of Back to the Future. Or Back to the Future 2. I enjoy those movies. I like those sort of movies. They're very entertaining. Yes, and I can tell you I'm looking forward. Evac Graffiti 845 is watching. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, whatever it is your way. Yes, I'm looking forward to the new Batman vs Superman movie. It's coming out, which will, I don't know when it comes out this year, maybe it's June, but I'm looking forward to it. I rarely go to the cinema. I saw Man of Steel, really liked it because I'm a big Superman fan, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to that movie. I was going to go and see Jurassic World, but I didn't. But I did buy the DVD, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed Jurassic Park, and the second one in the franchise. And because I'm into those sort of films, I'm into science fiction and fantasy films. Yeah, I'm a Star Wars fan. I didn't go to the pictures and see the Awakening, the new one. My son tried to go, but I was going to buy a hoverboard, but instead bought a longboard. I'm not getting enough exercise on a hoverboard, and I'll have to stay fit. Well, that's good. That's good to hear. Yeah, any exercise is better than no exercise at all. Even I exercise. You know, I'm 60. Evac Graffiti 85 fishermen. What type of fish are over there? Well, it depends. You've got your freshwater and you've got your saltwater. There's a myriad of varieties in the saltwater, but I'm a freshwater fisherman. So the main native fish are cod, Murray cod, yellow belly and silver perch, catfish, and there's another one, but it won't come to me. But unfortunately, the inland rivers now are full of European carp, and they're real fish, but they're great fun on light gear. I like catching them. I was once camped at a spot close to the river. It was teeming with European carp. I could have filled a box trailer in an afternoon. I was catching that many carp. They would just go on berserk. No sooner did I catch one, take it off the line, toss the line, I was catching another one. Star Wars was awesome, was it? I bet it was. 2 hours. Well, isn't that the way? If you enjoy something, time really goes quickly. And if you don't, it just drags by. It's like two boys sitting in the room with one girl. The one boy, the time will drag by, but the other will just go too quickly. Why? Because one's the brother and the other's the boyfriend. It's all a matter of perspective. It's all relative. Catfish, carp, pickerel, and striped bass. Bass, yes, we have bass, and of course we have trout in some rivers, some mountain rivers. Yeah. And do you fish? Evac Graffiti 845? Oh, you said you love to fish for catfish, so obviously you do. So you live in New York. You'd be skiing to work, would you? With all the snow? Yeah, we see it here on the news. Yeah, people think that it's all got to do with weather, climate change. Well, I might throw the cat among the pigeons here, or the spanner in the works. I don't think it's true. I don't think climate change is happening at all. I just think most of these people haven't lived long enough to experience the weather. Yep, big fisherman, good on you. 28 inches of snow. No. I once lived in the Blue Mountains, which is about 100 kilometres, top of the Blue Mountains, west of Sydney. And my wife and I lived there for 10 years, and we used to get a lot of snow up there. And I can't say I was a particular fan of the snow. It was nice to go out to the forest, the pine forest, and see the trees covered in snow. It was picturesque. But it was the big thaw. Once it all thawed out and everything turned to slush and mud. 28 inches of snow. Man, that's a lot of snow. Wow. But yeah, back to, I don't think climate change is real at all. I think it's a fallacy. I think it's a myth. They talk about a hole in the ozone layer. Of course there's a hole in the ozone layer. Ozone requires sunlight. And when you go up to the north-south poles, there's not sunlight there for 3 or 4 months. So naturally you're going to have a hole in the ozone layer. So these people ought to check their facts. They say that the Amazon jungle, crazy how the storm travelled. In what respect? Oh, well, thank you for becoming a fan. Thank you very much, evac 8845. I'll have to return the favour. I saw in the news, actually, evac, there was something, I think it was on the west coast. There's an area there where the ocean was really pounding at the cliffs, and there are whole units that is, well, very shortly they're just going to fall into the ocean because the ocean has taken away all the soil, it's crumbling down, and all those houses, all those units, well, you can't stay in them because they're going to go. And we've got the same problem here. See, the ocean is relentless. It just crashes up against the shores and slowly erodes the shore away. You know, I'm sure the Australian continent was much bigger 1 million years ago than it is now because of the ocean working at the shoreline and just making it smaller and smaller. And, who knows, in 10 million years from now, there might not be very much of Australia left because we're in the other country, because the ocean is relentless. You can't hold back the tide. Who knows? Yes. Oh, the rain stopped, which is a shame because I like the sound of rain on a tin roof. And when I go camping, because I've got a fold-out canvas unit on the back of my four-wheel drive, I love it at night when I go to bed and I've got a good book and you can hear the rain pattering on the canvas. So soothing, so relaxing. I went from, wow, that is quite a storm, isn't it? We've had storms like that here in Australia too. So it went from California down to Texas. That's a big area. That's a whopping big area. Wow. We've had storms that have stretched from Darwin down to Adelaide in South Australia. No, I've never been to the States. No. Storms that have been 3,000 miles long. It's true. Right from Darwin up the north to Adelaide way down the south. 3,000 miles. Stephen Hilster became a fan. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I will return the favour when I get the chance. I've got to have a drink of water, excuse me. But you can't fight Mother Nature, can you? Nature is all powerful. If some warring nation could find out a way to control the weather, you wouldn't need nuclear weapons or any weapons at all. You think about it. Think of the damage you could do if you could actually control the weather. You know, I've seen the terrible effects tornadoes have in America. We've had the odd tornado out here too. Yeah, and Jonas Klein is watching. Hello, Jonas Klein. Oh. Yeah. I'm good, thank you, Jonas. Yes, it's I'm feeling okay for an old fella. How true, evac. My word. Yes. And how do we know that maybe that little pissant over in North Korea hasn't figured out some way to wouldn't put it past me what he'd be up to. He's big trouble, that bloke. He's just an egomaniac, and he's looking for a fight, but it'll be a fight he won't win because of America, with the help of her allies, which is Australia is one. He'll just wipe the country off the face of the planet. He just want to watch himself, that little bloke. And you know that he spends so much money on the military that most of the population is starving. And they must just love him. He's a tyrant. He's far worse than his father. But that's all it takes. One nutcase like that. Stephen Hilster. Hey! I'm from Australia, yes. I live in the state of New South Wales, on the coast. I live in the mid-north coast of New South Wales. And where I am now, I'm about 5 kilometres west as the crow flies from the ocean. We almost got Trump at it. Trump. That would be... That man just doesn't know when to stop flapping his gums. I just hope he doesn't get voted into to running for president. I know he's got a lot of following, but the man's an idiot. An absolute idiot. He just gets his foot in his mouth. Some of the things he goes on with. You know, he said what? He could go out in the streets of New York and shoot someone and people would still vote for him. I don't think that went over too well. You have a family in Brisbane, Stephen? Well, Brisbane's about 450 kilometres north of where I live, which is Coffs Harbour. Yes. But you never know these days. We're treading a fine line. He's very racist, though, is he? Oh, you're talking about Trump? Yes. Yes. Well, there's no place for it. I don't know how you feel about Hillary Clinton, but I think Hillary Clinton's got a big chance of getting nominated. She may even become the first woman president of the United States. We had our first woman prime minister here a few years ago, and I can't remember her name. Yes, there's no place for racism in the world, but there's too much of it. Oh, we've got it here plenty too in Australia. Yeah. I once heard it said that Australia was the most racist country on the face of the planet, and sometimes I think that may be true. We've only got a population of 23 million people. I mean, we're nearly as big as continental United States, and you've got, what, 330 million. You know, you've got, what, 14 times the population, and we've only got 23 million. But we have some trouble with the native people, the Aboriginal people, from time to time, who are reclaiming the land, which is fair enough. I suppose it was theirs in the first place, and when the first fleet landed in 1788, in fact we celebrated Australia Day, January 26th, yesterday, and that was when the first fleet landed. Is there a lot of Chinese people? Yes, exactly, a lot of Chinese. We have a broad amount of nationalities in this country. Absolutely. The only problem is, EVAC, is that they tend to go to areas that they take over. They then take over. So you have areas like Fairfield, which is west of Sydney, about 20k, and that's predominantly Vietnamese, Chinese, and then you have other areas where there's Sudanese seem to congregate. We have a lot of Sudanese people here in Coffs Harbour. We've got a lot of ethnic nationalities here in Australia. Yeah, no problem at all. We're not too keen on taking in these refugees at the moment. I think we're taking in 12,000. But isn't that a crisis? All those poor people. You can't help but feel sorry for them, really. Yeah, I like Chinese food too. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Chinese food. I'm particularly fond of sweet and sour pork. Almost makes my mouth water thinking about it. Almost. Oh yeah. Yeah, I watched that video. Absolutely, Stephen. Is that your YouTube channel? You have a YouTube channel? Yep, I'll go and watch that later. Absolutely. What's it say? WTF, no Mickey. No, I don't do a lot of wood cutting. No, I don't. I do a lot of wood cutting when I go camping with my chainsaw, if that's what you mean. but I don't do any wood cutting. I'm not a carpenter. I do a little bit of woodwork, but when I go to the bush, I've got to cut a lot of firewood. Yeah, because it's very cold. But I'm a metal worker. I like to do metal work, a lot of welding, fabrication, metal sculptures, things like that. Oh, yeah. You must pardon me, I'm starting to wheeze a little bit. It's because of my emphysema, and sometimes I get mild attacks and I get a bit breathless. Like I said earlier, I was diagnosed with emphysema 5 years ago, and that was 15 years after I quit smoking. Can you believe it? No. But my wife's mother, she who never smoked in her entire life, was diagnosed with emphysema in her later years. So she obviously got emphysema, the doctor says, from air pollution. So there you go, it's not just smoking. Although smoking I think is the main cause. But air pollution doesn't help either. You have asthma. Yeah, so do I. Asthma and bronchitis as well. Yes, there's nothing worse, is there, Evac? Struggling to breathe. I now and again have very bad attacks where I virtually can't breathe at all, and there's nothing more frightening. You know, all you think about is breathing. Nothing else matters. The world could be falling apart around you and it wouldn't matter because you just can't breathe. It's terrifying. It really is terrifying. I know what it's like. I truly do. You're fighting the panic that rises up in you, and you've got to control the panic because the more stress you're under, the tighter your muscles in your throat tighten up. Yeah, I bet it was. Very scary and loud. Yeah, I know firsthand what that's like. And all you can do is just try and control your breathing, just quickly, and try and fight the. It's only human nature that you panic because you fear you're going to die. You fear you're smothering if someone's put a pillow over you. Nothing worse. No, I know what it's like, my young friend. I really do. It's the worst part of emphysema is when that breath goes. Same with asthma, and when you got the combination of the two. But I got my medications. I always keep my puffer handy. Always carry a puffer in my pocket. And I do have my other medications, Ultibro, which is a 1-a-day dose for emphysema. It helps. And I've also got a nebulizer that I use sometimes, and that helps too. I usually use it before I go to bed. I find that's helpful. But asthma is very, very common here in Australia among young children. They're doing studies to find out why that is so. And same with peanut allergies. Kuan, hello Kuan, is watching. He's back again. How are you? Time is it over here? Or are you talking to Kuan? Well, if you're talking to me, the time is 19 minutes past midnight. And I think Kuan is from China. And I don't know the time differences between Australia and China. I don't. If I remember correctly, Kuan doesn't speak a lot of English. Yeah, hey to you, Kuan. Yeah. Only 8 a.m. here. Yeah. There's those little icons, the little emoticons. Yeah, I believe you can. Yeah. I believe you can only use those when you're on a mobile. If you've got the Android or whatever it is. See, I don't have access to those emoticons. Jonas Klein, 19 minutes past midnight. 20 past now, yes. Yeah. So if you're in the United States, we're roughly in the middle of the United States, we're 16 hours behind, ahead of you. And if you're on the West Coast, we're 19 hours ahead of you. Wow, cool. Yeah, it is. It's cool if you can remember it. I have a difference with the times. I've got a good friend I talk to who lives in Virginia via Skype. And fortunately, when you go onto Skype and contact him, it will tell you the time it is in the United States or where he lives in Virginia. That's very handy because sometimes I just can't think. I just can't calculate the time difference. Here it's 14:20, 2:20 in the afternoon. 2:20 in the afternoon. Well, you're only 10 hours behind us. So where do you live, Jonas? So where do you live, Jonas? Do you live in the United States? Oh, Germany. I should take note of all this. Germany. Right, so there's a 10-hour time. See, that's pretty close to what it is in most of Europe and Great Britain. It's around 9 to 10 hours difference. I know there's a 9-hour time difference between Australia and London. Yeah. We're ahead, of course. So that means that it would be roughly 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Great Britain. And yeah. I've always had a good head for numbers when I'm thinking clearly. Yeah, always had a good head for numbers. I was a surveyor's assistant, and I don't know if any of you know 1 hour behind us. Right, okay, thank you. You're all so close together there, really, aren't you? See, Australia, we're quite isolated. We have Papua New Guinea, which is up at the Gulf of Carpentaria, not far, and then we've got Indonesia over this way, which is to the northwest, which is not far away. You're going to go to sleep? Good on you, lad. Yes, you have a great night too, and maybe we can talk again some other time. Maybe we can talk live one day. That'd be good. Okay, mate. Sleep tight. Have a good day when you wake, of course. Yes, well, maybe it's time I called it quits too. It's I've been nearly broadcasting for 57 minutes, and actually I'm getting quite hungry. I had dinner. YouNow, a new person is watching. I had dinner. Truth. I think it was about 6 o'clock tonight. 6 hours ago. No wonder I'm feeling hungry. Oh God. I'll have to get myself something to eat and a cup of tea. I can't go to bed on an empty stomach. My wife's the opposite. If she goes to bed on a full stomach, it makes her ill. Just like Chinese food makes my sister ill. It's true. Different strokes for different folks. No, I've never been to Europe. My wife and I, now that we're retired, we were planning on going to England. But now that with my emphysema, my doctor suggests it would not be a good idea for me to fly. And I won't go on a ship. So that's out of the question. I would love her to go, because she's got friends in Great Britain. And I would love to go with her, but unfortunately I don't think I can. My doctor warns against it. Which is a real bugger. You know? So anyhow, that's life. Yes, it is a far journey. It is. I was only saying to Brittany, who I talked to earlier this afternoon, and it's something like 15,000 miles from Sydney to California. I'm trying to think. I can't think of the capital of California. I know what it is, but I can't think what. It's something like 15,000 miles, which is 24,000 kilometres. My sister's been there a couple of times. She said it takes something like 24 hours or 21 hours on the plane. No, I don't think I could take it. I find once upon a time I could drive 1,000 kilometres. Oh, sorry, I thought I heard someone. I could drive 1,000 kilometres in a day, no worries. Now it's 880 kilometres to my cousin's property where I go camping, and I've got to do it in 2 days. I just can't drive as far as I used to. So I drive halfway, camp on the side of the road, fish half the journey next time. I made 3 videos about the last trip away, just to show where I went, what the country was like. A friend, did she? Well, you know, Jonas, most tourists do love Australia. And my sister said that when she went to America, she loved it. Everyone was friendly, and she had a really good time. So yeah, it's all right. I just saw something out of my peripheral vision, and it's the lights around the fish pond on the time, and they just went out. Yeah, for 6 months. Oh, good on it. A bit of a working holiday. Yes, we have a lot of young people. It's a wonderful country and nice people. We are nice people. Most of them are like me. But yeah, that's true. No, we are a very friendly country. Very friendly indeed. And we welcome all tourists. Yeah, you're most welcome to this country. On exchange program, yeah. Yes, that goes on a lot too. And there's been a lot of Aussie kids going on exchange, and they spoke real high about it. You know how wonderful time they have, what a wonderful experience it was. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good for young people to do that. You know, they get a chance to see other parts of the world. But it looks like I'll just be looking at my own country, which is a very big country. You know, we've got, as I said before, we've only got 23 million in this country, and we're nearly as big as the continental United States. And there's a lot of empty country in Australia. It's very big and very empty. Yes, it is summertime. We are into the second month of summer, and February is the last month, and then we get into autumn, and then we get into the winter. And I like the cold weather. I don't like being cold, but I like the cold weather. Because then I can go camping and sit in front of the campfire. Oh, there's nothing like it. Oh, it's fantastic. Just lose yourself to the flames. You know, I got a friend who lives in the bush, and he says whenever there's been a bit of a fight brewing with a group of blokes, he said he goes and lights a fire. And he said it calms them down. And it's true. Sitting before a campfire is a wonderful experience. Yeah, absolutely wonderful experience. You don't like the cold weather? To each their own, eh? Yeah, I don't like the summer. See, here on the living on the coast, the humidity is very high, and it's the humidity that affects my emphysema the most. In the cold weather, I'm better. Some people, it's the opposite. Some of them prefer the humidity. Can't see the snow. I would never want to see the snow anymore, Jonas. Couldn't give a hoot nor a holler if I saw snow ever again. It's never snowed here in Coffs Harbour. I think it would be something, if it did snow here in Coffs Harbour, I would think, yes, climate change is real. But no, because we're virtually at sea level here. So, you know, we do get snow up in the Barrington Tops, which is a few hundred kilometres to the southwest from here. No, never snow here. No. In the winter time here in Coffs Harbour, my hometown, it can get down to freezing and below freezing at night. But inland, it can get down to -10, -12. It can get pretty cold. Yeah, my word. It gets so cold some nights when I'm camping on my cousin's mountain that when I wake up in the morning, my bowl of washing water is frozen. Yeah. Knock, knock, knock. But it's good for the complexion. Yeah, break the ice, which is about so thick. Yeah. It really wakes you up in a hurry when you splash cold water in your face. That cold. Yes, but it's not as cold as some countries, is it? Not like it can be in. That was freaking cold. Freaking cold. Yes, we rarely even get a frost here in Coffs Harbour. A little bit to the west, maybe 10 kilometres, I get frost, but we rarely get a frost here in Coffs. I think I could count the number of frosts I've encountered here on one hand. Yeah, that here. Yeah, the left hand. Yeah. Yeah, out in the west, over the Great Dividing Range, it gets really cold. Yeah. But as long as I can protect myself from the cold and sit in front of a campfire, wow. You had minus 18 degrees, that's starting to get cold. That is getting cold. Yeah. Down in the snow country, it's Mount Kosciuszko, where Mount Kosciuszko is. That's the highest mountain in Australia. But it's only a small mountain compared to many mountains around the world. I think it's only about 4,500 feet, 5,000 feet. And that's where all the ski resorts are. Yeah, it can get down to minus 20, 25. And I suppose with the chill factor, it'd go down to minus 30. But yeah. But actually, now that you mentioned snow, last year when I was on my cousin's property, he came up early in the morning and I was still in bed. And he said, it's freezing out here, John. I said, good, I'll stay in bed. And he said, oh, it's snowing. I said, you're joking, aren't you? He said, no, it just started to slow a little bit. So, there you go. Yeah. Let's Siboth, SCIBOTH1 is watching. Hello. You know what, Jonas and everyone else? When I go camping, I don't do it tough anymore. When I first started camping when I was a teenager, we really roughed it. But now I've got my four-wheel drive with my custom-made fold-out unit. I've got my generator, and I've got an electric blanket. I'm a softie now. I get the generator going and put the electric blanket on a couple of hours before I call it a night. It's wonderful. Oh, it's wonderful to get in a warm bed on a cold winter's night. And of course I've got electric light, and I've got my mobile Wi-Fi so I can get onto the internet, and I can upload short videos to YouTube and post on Facebook. And yeah, I've got a few mod cons. And but you've got to. The older you get, you know, you need a few mod cons. You know, and a chainsaw instead of an axe so I can cut firewood. And always take a few rifles away with me because I used to be a very keen hunter, but I don't do much hunting anymore. Well, we've never had snow here at Christmas time. Jonas, never ever. No, I can't remember having snow anywhere in Australia on Christmas Day. Or, no, hang on, there was some snow in a couple of parts of New South Wales from a storm, and the temperature dropped quickly, yeah. But on the whole, no, we don't have snow at Christmas time. It's usually very hot. Very, very hot. You know, we've got a place called Marble Bar, which is roughly in the centre of Australia, and it's one of the hottest places in the world. It's had temperatures getting up to 58 degrees centigrade, or Celsius. What's that? That's about 132 Fahrenheit. Wow, that's hot. It's probably as hot as Death Valley, which I know is actually the hottest place on the face of the planet. But the Marble Bar at times has equalled it, the heat. That's why I never go bush in the summer. It's just too hot. And you got a lot of flies, and you got to be on the outlook for snakes, because we have 10 of the most deadliest snakes in the world here in Australia. My word. So you got to be very careful, and you can't light a campfire here in the summertime. It's just too hot. And fires are banned anyhow. We have fire seasons where fires are banned, outdoor fires. No, I never go camping in the summertime. Always the cold months. Yeah, cooler cold months. Great, love it. In fact, when I go away this year, I've got 3 Facebook pages, so if you ever want to check out my post, you can get over to my main Facebook page, which is John Hampton. My other page is Emphysema Man, and the other is The Man from Oz. And I always post pictures, take a lot of pictures, and I upload short videos, because I can only upload about a minute and a half with this portable Wi-Fi unit, because it takes so long. Sorry for my bad English, I'm still learning. You're doing well, Jonas. You're doing very well. No need to apologise. I perfectly understand. Yeah. Well, I think I might have to call it a night, my friends. Oh, you're welcome, Jonas. Oh, you're welcome. Yes. So look, if I don't know if any of you are on, but my grammar is pretty bad. You're not alone there, Jonas. When I went to high school, I hated English. I couldn't understand English, but I, over the past 40 years or so, I've improved my grammar dramatically because I'm a writer, and that has taught me a lot about grammar. I've been writing now for about 10 or 15 years. Well, you keep trying, Jonas. Practice makes perfect, or so the saying goes. Although we've got someone nearby who's practiced the drums for the past 6 months or so, and sad to say they're not getting any better. But at least they're trying. And that's what it's all about. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And if you don't try, you'll never know. That's very true, yes. Exactly true. Smiley face. You know, on Google Plus they don't have emoticons. I really miss emoticons. I like all the emoticons on Facebook, but on Google Plus we don't have them. I made a video, and I called it Google Plus We Want Emoticons, and I was hoping people would share it and help it go viral. Maybe they'd help decide to put emoticons on Google Plus. No, it didn't. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. Yes, so if any of you have got Skype, and any time, you know, I'll add you as a contact. Just Google John.Hampton, all lowercase, John.Hampton73. And I'd love to talk to you on Skype. That's if you want to. Are there... no, there are no emoticons on here, on YouNow. All I have available to me is to give a channel 50 thumbs up or 50 likes, whatever it is. I'm not sure what it is. Now we have here, I have 14.2 thousand coins, YouNow coins, and 1,170 bars. And I'm not quite sure what they're for. I know you give the bars to people that you like, and but I'm not sure what the coins are for. But I will find out. Justin C is watching. Hello, Justin C. Yeah, I just saw Jonas comment. What, 50 degrees? I would die too. Wow, man, 50 degrees would kill me. 50 degrees C. You know, 132 degrees or so Fahrenheit. You could fry an egg on the ground. It's true, you could. No, that's just too hot for me. No way in the world. Oh, we have some heat waves here from time to time in Coffs Harbour. You know, it'll get into the mid-40s, 40 degrees centigrade, which is about 112 or so Fahrenheit, but that's not often. No, most of the time summer's not too bad here. But the humidity, that's another thing. We have, we don't have the house air conditioned. Yes, spring's okay. It's still pretty warm here in spring, but spring's okay. But of course, spring is a prelude to summer, isn't it? Then you've got to look forward to summer. I don't like summer. Yes, we don't have our house air conditioned, but we've got ceiling fans in most rooms, and they make a difference. We like to keep the house open. It keeps the air flowing through, you know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that was John.Hampton, all lowercase, 73. That's my contact for Skype if you ever want to. And if you ever want to have a look at my YouTube channel, and a couple of you in the past have subscribed, and I thank you for that. One, I knew his name, and I subscribed to his channel because that's how I say thank you. And one subscribed anonymously. So if you have a YouTube channel and you subscribe to me, I will subscribe to you. Yeah, 58 degrees. Yeah, it would suck the moisture right out of you. Jonas became a fan. Thank you, Jonas. I will, for all these people who have become fans, I will return the favour. I've just got to make a note of names and whatever. See, I scroll through all these different tags, musicians, dance, girls, guys, board, and just to see what I can come up with. And I usually go to the ones that haven't got many viewers and just see what they're doing. And yeah, I find that's the best way. Well, thank you for the 10, Jonas. Thank you very much. Excuse me. Yeah, so please, you can pop over to my YouTube channel and check it out if you like to. It's John Hampton, the Man from Oz, YouTube, Facebook pages. Look, I'm starting to get a bit weary. I'm a bit hungry. It is 20 to 1 in the morning. I don't know what my dearly beloved is doing. She was watching some television show. Yes, this is my shed. It's my shed, Jonas. It's also a bit of a workshop, and it's also my office. So I'm sitting here at a desk. It's an old roll-top desk. And I've got my laptop on it, and I've got my printer over here to my left. I've got my GoPro camera here, and my Canon camera. I've got a couple of mobile phones. I've got a TV up here. And yeah, I've got all my cons. I've got a little refrigerator, it's my camp refrigerator. Runs off gas. Terrific little thing. Yeah. And I've got a microwave, but at the moment the microwave's in the back of my four-wheel drive. Yeah. See, what I do when I go camping is with the generator, I can have a toaster and the micro. I can't use them all at the same time because it's only a 2,000 watt generator. But I usually make a big pot of tea in the morning, and then I start the generator and I can just nuke a mug of tea for a minute or so. It's great. Yeah, it's really good. No, I think if you came camping with me, you'd really enjoy it. Sounds like a happy place. It is a happy place. All a man needs, computer and tools. What? That's not a bad analogy, actually. Not a bad analogy at all. Every man needs his shed as well. Jonas? And I think these days, with so many women being involved with DIY projects, I think every woman needs a shed too. See, we have a good movement here in Australia. It's called the Men's Shed. And it's where all men can get together who are suffering from depression and things like that, you know. And they can get together and make things. They make things for charities. You know, things things out of timber and stuff. And they're good. They're good things. Yeah. It's not restricted to any age. Brandon T is watching. Hello, Brandon T. And men can go along to these men's sheds. And they are what they say, they are for men only. And just like we have the Country Women's Association, which is for women only. And it's good for men. It's good therapy. Yeah. Oh, I've got to go. I really got to go. I've really enjoyed talking, and I've picked up a few more fans. And later on, I will make a list, and I will return the favour to all those who fan me, because I'm like that. Yeah. So I'm going to say good night, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And it was very nice talking to you too, Jonas. I wish you good night. I wish you good night too. I wish everyone good night, and have a good day, and have a safe one. And I will be on air again sometime tomorrow, probably around 10 or 10:30 at night. All right, until then, bye-bye. Live long and prosper. Bye, folks.